Hello, good morning. How's everybody doing? I'm not going to spend too much time on my intro stuff. I'm just going to play my quick intro, give people a few minutes to come in. It's only a couple minutes long. That way people can get their notifications and join us. And I will get right down to what's going on with this lying little liar face who tells lies. It's bad. She should be so ashamed of herself, and I hope we haven't heard the end of what happened, because I remember when this story broke 2 years ago, and it was crazy. She pulled a full Amber Heard with the fake photos and everything and ruined this guy's life. So we're going to get right down to it in just a moment. Here we go. The girls with their nails done now. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, all you beautiful people. Hello, Sexy Wild Thing, Carol Freaking Claus. Hey, Music City Mom. Hi, Corey. Hi, Steve and Martin. How are you guys doing? All right, let's just get right down to it, okay? Let me think of which one I should show first here, and I am going to share my screen real quick, and then we're going to get right into it here. Oh, you guys, this lady, she's gonna get in big trouble. I feel like something big is going to come her way soon. charges wise, you know? All right, here we go. Now, before we begin, I do want to remind everybody, I'm sure you've heard, today is National Emergency Alert Test Day. So look at your time here and just make sure that if you or anybody that you know has a hidden phone for safety purposes, this is also National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Kind of hit it just in time, didn't they? Make sure that that person has the phone completely off today. All right. So living the dream, huh? Yeah. Hello, sexy Carol. All right. So a couple years ago, this was in 2021, this guy was signed. I'm going to start pulling up my tabs here. So this guy was signed to the Dodgers. He was the 2020 Cy Young Award winner, Trevor Bauer. Life was good, right? He had, I don't remember how much the contract was. It was huge. It was a huge contract. I'm seeing if it has the details of that here, but it was a multi-year, like $230 million contract, something like that. It was huge. And he started, everything was going great. Great baseball player. I'm not even that into baseball myself. I used to be, but I stopped watching it years ago. But it is fun to watch. We have a really fun stadium here, and my sisters and I used to go, and they are fun. If you go to a baseball game, they are fun. Chasing a nightmare. So anyway, you know, he was signed and life was good. He'd never had any problems with the law or women before or since. And he met this girl and, you know, just young and stupid, I guess. Let me see. She accused him of assaulting her. So let me show you this one now. This is Agent Ray Chalupa on TikTok. I gathered a few little videos from TikTok because, you know, I love TikTok for its conciseness. It can kind of wrap up a story really quick. And everything that I show, I will put the links down below for you guys as well. And for credit to these videos. And I only picked a few of the really shortest ones that I could, you know. All right, so here is her video. I really like this. Lots of people are speaking out about this. This story just broke. It's crazy. Make sure I get my volume all the way up for you. Nope, I don't.
Compare Trevor Bauer's version to the graphic descriptions Lindsey Hill gave along with her demeanor in this video. A video that was never disclosed to the court or Bauer's side during her DVR court proceeding.
These are direct quotes Lindsey Hill made under penalty of perjury. Trevor then punched me hard with a closed fist to the left side of my jaw. The left side.
Now, of course, I do want to, you know, warn you that if you're sensitive to this, if you're a survivor, it's not easy to listen to the things that she said. However, just know while you're listening that these things were proven absolute lies. And she'll get to this in just a second.
Side of my head and both cheekbones. It was extremely startling and painful. I was absolutely frozen and terrified. I had a terrible pain behind both of my ears. I tasted blood in my mouth and felt that my lip was split open. I was extremely anxious and terrified the remainder of the night. I had over 10 dark red and scab scratches from fingernails on the right side of my face that covered my entire cheek and chin. I was in significant pain. I was focused on leaving. I just wanted to get out of his house. I got out of the bed at 8:30 a.m. when he was still sleeping.
Okay, so remember this part right here where she says, I got out of bed at 8:30 a.m. when he was still sleeping. She claimed that this assault happened all night long and she snuck out at 8:30 a.m. while he was still sleeping. Now watch what happens.
This video was taken later that same morning, after she claimed this all occurred.
Do you see one mark on her? And you notice her little facial expression where she's like, the plan is on. Watch her little face she makes right here. Ha. The plan is on.
During the restraining order proceeding, Lindsey Hill was ordered to turn over all pictures and videos relevant to Mr. Bauer. This video was not disclosed.
I was sitting here talking away on mute, y'all. Yes, true. Not a mark on her at all. He was kicked out. So a couple days ago, he had immediately responded to her allegations by suing her for defamation. And that battle went on for 2 years. 2 days ago, they settled. They both dropped their lawsuits, $0 for her. She still got $300,000 from her insurance, though. Crazy. Not too many white claws, right? But she didn't have a mark on her. Now, did you watch the video that I just played? She testified that she left while he was still asleep, that he had assaulted her and beat her all night long. Then I'm going to show you the photos that she claimed were from the assault. Although she did not have any medical records, she didn't go to the doctor, she didn't go to the hospital, nothing. All she did was take some selfies, just like Amber Heard did with the fake makeup crap that she used on her face to make it look like she'd been hit by Johnny Depp. You remember that? She did the same thing. She never was examined by a doctor. She only had these photos. But you just saw in the last thing, this is the video of
Over all
her.
pictures and videos relevant to Mr. Bauer.
This is her. That next morning, does she look like she's been hit at all? No. I am a domestic violence survivor, big time. I would never, ever say a word about an actual victim. She hurts real victims with what she has done. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more. She actually made a face. She thought she was so smart.
Leaving.
Look.
I just wanted to get out of his house. I got out of the bed at 8:30 a.m. when he was still sleeping. This video was taken later that same morning, after she claimed this all occurred.
She's like, yeah, got him. Got him. Wait until you see her text messages as well before she went over there that night and the next day with her friends, joking about how she was going to get money from him. All right, so this came first, is why I'm going to play this first, okay? Hang on. Yeah, you're right. She never, there's not even a police report, Ava. Good morning, by the way, and good morning, Sunflower. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to argue. I'm going to show everything, okay? So, because I checked it, I've been looking into this for 2 days before I decided to do a live on this to make sure that, you know, nobody was like going after her wrongfully. But watch what she's done, and all of her text messages, they were withheld from him this whole time. He just got them. So the media has put out the story like this.
A legal victory of sorts for former Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer. He and the woman who accused him of sexual assault have settled their lawsuits against each other.
This moment caps off a tumultuous last few years for Bauer, who was never actually charged with a crime in relation to the woman's allegations. Our Christian Cordero is live now in the newsroom with all the details on this story. Christian?
David Ellen, back in 2021, Trevor Bauer went from being the highest paid MLB player to suspended amid sexual assault allegations and then cut from the Dodgers. The legal saga tangled in all of that has dissolved in a settlement worth $0.00. With the Trevor Bauer cases now settled in Southern California civil court, today the former Dodgers pitcher is trying to clear his name in the court of public opinion. He posted this video on X saying 2 years later, and I can finally talk about this. 2.5 years ago, Bauer signed a $102 million deal with the Dodgers. That April, he had what he insisted was consensual rough sex with a San Diego woman. The woman later identified herself as Lindsey Hill, saying the sex was consensual, but not the assault that happened during it. She claimed it went too far, twice. Bauer sued Hill, who countersued him. And today, in the $0 settlement of those lawsuits, Bauer accuses Hill's team of hiding critical information.
Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsey Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me.
The almost 4-minute-long video shows a series of text messages Bauer says Hill sent to friends, suggesting she was going after his money. ABC7 has not independently authenticated this video or the texts. A judge denied Hill's request for a permanent restraining order in August 2021, and Bauer was never charged with a crime. Still, he received a 194-game ban in December 2022. After that, the Dodgers cut him. No other team signed him. Bauer now plays in Japan.
Over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity and my reputation in a very public setting. But hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I'd prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life.
Now, we reached out to Hill's attorneys who have acknowledged our request but have not yet shared a statement. We will be sure to update when they do. This isn't the last of Bauer's legal battles, though. Hill was one of 4 women to accuse him of this type of conduct. He faces a separate lawsuit from a woman in Arizona.
Yeah.
News, a grief-stricken mother is trying to navigate.
You close that one now. So, yeah, after that stuff is all going to be addressed as well, I believe. Thank you very much, Carol. I appreciate you. Welcome, Avery. How are you doing? How's your little boy doing? Hope you guys are doing okay. Call or text me, okay? Been thinking about you. Okay, next up. Okay, so here is another video that breaks it all down for you guys.
And this is what makes me sick about ESPN and any of the mainstream media. If you don't know what I'm complaining about, let me explain it to you. About 2 years ago, a woman came out and said Trevor Bauer sexually assaulted her. It's this beautiful little blonde girl. Yeah, check her out right here. Okay. And here she is after the attack, and she went to the police. Now, Trevor Bauer was adamant. I never touched this girl. I didn't assault her like this. When she left my house, she looked fine. He pleaded not guilty, and he sued her for defamation.
So again, look at those photos. That's what she submitted in her lawsuit. There was no police report indicating anything like that. There was no police report. She didn't go to the doctor. She didn't go to the hospital. She only took these photos. Do you remember the one with Amber Heard where she had this mark on her face and she claimed that that was Johnny Depp? But then the very next morning, she was filmed with no mark on her face at all and no makeup. This stuff happens, you guys. This is her, what she claimed she looked like, yet this was her minutes before. And again, she claimed that this assault happened all night. She wakes up and takes this cute little video doing the little eyebrow thing at the camera like, I got him. I got him. I got to spend the whole night here and now I got him. That's what she was thinking. Yes, yes. And I'm going to show you those text messages as well, Avery does. Absolutely. Did it really? Wow. Dang. All right, let me go on, finish the rest of this one real quick.
Of character. It was a he said, she said case. And what did Major League Baseball do? They suspended him for like 300 games. Now they reduced it, but all of this was before we went to court, before they checked her phone. And you know what they found in her phone? Well, let me show you.
That, of course, that he was innocent. And that this woman, his accuser, was nothing more than a liar, taking advantage of the Me Too movement to try and earn a big payday. And Bauer's evidence was a bombshell. Listen to it for yourself.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsey replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. In August of 2021, Lindsey Hill's claims were heard in court.
Well, hello, Jesse. The sports guy is here. How you doing, Jesse? I'd love to hear, your take on this guy, just him as a player. If you know anything about him, that would be cool. And what, if you have any thoughts about, what went down with him. This guy, as you know, has jesseshul.com. He can tell you what his title is. I'm not really sure, but he does sports statistics and stuff. And I think it's on Twitter that you had 9 out of 9 of your last ones were correct. I'm not even sure how all that works, but apparently he's good at what he does. So it's all Greek to me, but welcome, Jesse. I'm going to finish playing this now. You guys see so far, this is not even all of it. And wait until you see what she said on an interview. It's gross.
And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsey Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent.
The video speaks for itself. One of the statements that he made in that video, that his accuser said she was going to get him to choke her out and then extort him. And guess what, guys? That's exactly what she did. And The interesting part, no one for a second questioned her story, despite Bauer vehemently denying it since day one.
But the bigger issue here is he's completely innocent. He has proof. The courts understand that he's innocent. And this is how they want to label it. This is what they want to do. They say Trevor Bauer and the woman settle a dispute in sexual assault case. Not that he's innocent. They just settle the dispute. They even try to make it sound like he paid for this shit. You got to read the fine print to make sure he didn't pay her anything. Okay? She got paid $300,000 from her insurance company, but this man is innocent. Yet every headline is out here just saying he settled his legal dispute with her. They settled out of court. She's a liar. And the only thing worse than the media is Major League Baseball, because they're saying this doesn't change circumstance. He's still suspended. And the last thing I want to say to any professional athlete or any young man in this world is if you look like this and this girl pretends to be attracted to you, she's after your money, bro. She doesn't think you're good looking. Look at you. Look at her. Let's keep it real. But all the news outlets that vilified this guy for the last 2 years and called him a woman beater, I would much prefer a retraction from every single story you guys ever wrote and go ahead and put it down and say, you know what? We were wrong about this. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows.
Pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, she really should be ashamed. I mean, there's lots of real victims out here. And again, if you just joined and you are in a, safety plan situation because of domestic violence, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I do stand with victims. Remember, turn off your phones today. If you have a hidden phone that you use for safety, make sure it's off. You don't want that your abuser to hear the phone. It's going to go off. So, which part, Jesse? I disagree with him about the, if a cute girl, if you look like that and a cute girl pretends to be attracted to you, she's after your money. Not necessarily, but I think he's just mad. He's mad. Yeah, that is true. Oh, I remember that. Good morning, Too Fast for Fleas. How are you doing? Tell you what, my dogs are not too fast for fleas. They got fleas right now. At the end of summer, they get fleas. Like, what? So I just had to treat them yesterday. We hadn't had any fleas all year. I don't know where they got them. But suddenly, I found one on one of the dogs. And, if you see one, there's more. So, I hate fleas. Yes, true. Thank you so much. Right, yeah, not just for domestic violence victims, but if you don't want to hear that shrill thing, check your time. Mine's at 1:20 Central. 3 hours from now is when it's going to happen. So let me go to the next one here. I'm working my way up to, I know these are just TikToks right now, but I'm working up to showing more here. Here's one more on her lies. I like this lady here. Let me get her link.
Compare Trevor Bauer's version to the graphic descriptions Lindsey Hill gave along with her demeanor in this video. A video that was never disclosed to the court or Bauer's side during her DVR court proceeding.
These are direct quotes Lindsey Hill made under penalty of perjury. Trevor then punched me hard with a closed fist to the left side of my jaw. The left.
I'm so sorry. I think I already showed this one. Didn't I? Yeah, I showed this one. Sorry. Let me get that one out of my folder. Okay. Here's one on the suspension details. So this was April of last year. He was suspended for 2 years by the Major League Baseball. He denied everything. He was suspended for 2 full years for, quote, violating the league's domestic violence and sexual assault policy. And he said, in the strongest possible terms, I deny committing any violation of the league's domestic violence and sexual assault policy. I am appealing this action and expect to prevail. He didn't. Nobody cared. As we have throughout this process, my representatives and I respect the confidentiality of the proceedings. And that got him nowhere. Let me see. I mean, I think everybody should be, it's all, I mean, Twitter and TikTok and YouTube, you know, they're all lit up about this story. I know this isn't a normal true crime story, but a crime has been committed by this lady, you know? Oh, yeah. If they have them on, absolutely. That's a good point. Oh yeah. That will be so funny. Okay. I just put article on this one. I'm not sure what it is. Hang on, let me read it. Check it out. Okay, this has got the link to his video, so I'm going to go with this one real quick. Trevor Bauer goes off on his accuser after both dropped their lawsuits with no money changing hands. Except she still got $300K from her insurance. Why? I don't know. As a general rule in this business, just about the world's worst subjects you can address is anything involving allegations of DV or SA. The topics are just so emotionally charged. People read into what you're saying, whatever they want to read. And if your opinion doesn't square 100% with theirs, they have a tendency to turn it into a straw man argument, accusing you of defending the indefensible or of just being the worst kind of monster. It's a Kobayashi Maru, the unwinnable scenario. But sometimes you've got to boldly go wherever the news takes you. For instance, the resolution of a story that came up a year and a half ago. So this is when the story broke, suspended for 2 years. After the suspension, Trevor Bauer and MLB went to an arbitrator who reduced his suspension to 194 games. It's crazy. So after that, this guy had to leave the country. He completely had to leave. He's now over in Japan and doing great, by the way. I am going to put a link in chat for Jesse. Yeah, he's got 5 minutes for me. Hello, Julie. Welcome. You want to be in a crowded place? That's funny. I'm going to bring up Jesse here. Good morning. Doing? I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I better turn
you want to be in a crowded place? That's funny. Mute your YouTube if you wouldn't mind.
I think I've done that. How we sounding now?
Yeah, good now. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Deb. I just finished another show and I got a coffee that I'm working on. It's got a couple shots of whiskey in it. And I tweaked my back this morning, so I can't sit for too long. That's why I said 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Now you guys remember he is on the other side of the globe. So what time is it there now?
It is about 10:30, I believe.
10:30 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Crazy, huh, you guys?
Pretty normal for me. But yeah, this story, I got to say, I'm not surprised. I could give you dozens of examples of similar cases that, you know, and I don't remember this kind of I guess Trevor Bauer was able to provide receipts where a lot of these guys, it just goes away quietly. One such incident was at the time one of the best players, if not the best player in the NHL. His cover was on the video game for the NHL video game, and they petitioned to have his image removed from the video game. Guy's name is Patrick Kane, played for the Chicago Blackhawks for years, was accused of, SA in the city of Buffalo, I believe. And his accuser actually was caught stealing a kit, I guess an R kit is what we have to say on YouTube, from the hospital to
you can
false.
say the words here. Rape kit, YouTube. Rape.
Yeah.
Rape.
So
What are you
apparently
gonna do?
her and her mother conspired to steal this rape kit from the hospital so that they could use it to plant evidence or create some kind of evidence. And
Wow.
her legal representation fired her. So her lawyer fired her, and then she had no legal representation and the case was dropped. And as far as I know, Kane didn't get any apology. He didn't get back on the video game. He got
They never
back
do,
to playing.
do they?
He got back to playing hockey and his career is resumed, and nobody really talks about it anymore. But why should a guy have to go through that?
Right.
And
look at what Loaded Hot just said. Trevor could have been a possible Hall of Famer with his numbers. I mean, are you familiar with his stats?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the guy. One thing I will say about Trevor is he's a bit controversial, and he's a bit of an oddball, and he's the kind of guy. And I think that's one of the things that people need to keep in mind is
hothead is how I heard him described.
Yeah, hothead. But
And
there's some guys
it made him a target, didn't it?
Yeah. So if you're a guy that people don't like for various reasons, let's say you're on the wrong side of political issues, you say a few things that people don't like, then it's easier to target you, and people want to believe that you're capable of doing these things.
Right.
And I think Trevor fits that description of a guy that it was sort of believable that he could do this to some people, not really
It's
to myself.
crazy because I mean, all of us know a hothead. All of us know a hothead. My dad was a total hothead. He had the worst temper, but he would never hurt another human being, and he was so gentle when it came to my mom and us. But he was a major hothead. It was embarrassing. I could tell you so many stories that were funny now thinking back, but at the time I was like, oh my God, Dago's calling me here. I'm going to mute for just a second. Hang on. Go ahead and answer this thing from too fast on the screen.
MLB should reimburse them for lost wages or lift the suspension. They should certainly lift the suspension. And the longer they go without doing that, perhaps the more of a legal case he'll have against them. But, I've heard a few legal experts talking about this, saying they don't think he's got much of a case as far as if he wants to sue him for lost wages. I as much as I'd like to see it, I guess I'm still kind of skeptical that that'll actually happen. But as far as that goes, like I said, he's not the only one that's faced this. There's been a ton of guys that have gone through this, and I think it's good that it's coming out now, and it's good that people are aware of it, because I think when people are faced with accusations, it has to go through the legal process. We have innocent until proven guilty for a reason, and perhaps sports leagues, tech companies like YouTube and Twitter, baseball and the NFL aren't the best suited to litigate such cases and accusations. We have courts for a reason. Let it play out in court, and if somebody is convicted of a terrible crime, then you can take action on them. But I don't think actions should be taken just because of accusations, especially when we live in a society where it's quite profitable to accuse famous and wealthy people of these crimes. And that was very well highlighted in this case, how much money she was able to, as I understand it, she was able to get $300,000 from an insurance claim. I guess now she's probably looking at a charge for that as well.
I hope so. I hope she has some sort of consequences. Have you seen her new interviews?
I haven't seen her new interviews. I saw the Outkick stuff and some of the stuff that you'd already played, but I didn't see any of her comments since the case was dropped.
slap and pull a.
So this is a clip of the interview. There's a longer interview. I will link down in the description for you guys. I don't want to play all of their content, but they posted a clip. So I'm going to show this. This is, and there's another clip of her. The things that she talked about on this show were gross. All right, I'm going to play this.
I like to slap and pull a hair and do this and that. Let's just be real. I mean, we all like to have a little fun. Did he cross the line? What happened? I mean, how does it go from kind of playful, fun stuff to assault? What can you say and how can you describe the situation?
Yeah, it's actually something, for 2.5 years, I have been testifying on and, explaining things away. Every text message, the video, it all has an explanation.
Well, those text messages are bad, though. Lindsey, you keep bringing the text, and I don't even want to, totally kill you on these texts. But as a person that, listen, these texts, let's look at right here. What does that mean? Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. That's text one. That's kind of bad, Lindsey. What is that? I mean, I know you're saying this is no context, and I'm sure you're being sarcastic. I'm guessing. I mean, but what the hell does that mean? Next victim.
Yeah, and this is, exactly what Trevor wanted to do was random pick 3 or 4 texts and weave it into a narrative where I just look horrible. But so, when I explained that and in my deposition and different things, I'm like you. I like to joke. I'm very sarcastic, sometimes inappropriate. Anyone who knows me will know that. And these are private, text messages with my friends. And agreed, victim is not the word there. But what my past, I've been involved with other baseball players. That was my world at the time. And it was a funny way, I had already dated baseball players. And it was a funny, sarcastic way to say, oh, here's the next one, that I'm going to try to get attention from. And it was a lot of ego and, attention seeking behavior, which is what I can own. And what he can't do is own any part, but I can totally own the attention seeking behavior. But these texts, in a grand scheme, don't address what happened at all. This was before any of, our interactions or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. They finally got the messages and saw that, yes, this is her with her friend right before she met him, planning it all out. And then the other text messages right before she went to his house, while she was there, and after. That's kind of what shows the whole plan. Good morning to Mallory. How are you doing, hun? He is absolutely innocent. I've got some more here. Yeah. He's proved it too. Absolutely.
How about the net worth text? So shortly after next victim, it's he's got a net worth of 51 mil.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
So what happened though? So in the next text he says, "I need daddy to choke me out." Then the third one it says, "Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million." And I have to be honest, when I read these text messages, I get a little sexually aroused. But I think that's just because I'm insane. But I mean, what happened? He choked you out. He beat you up because in that one video you were smiling after it. So and you sent me that one phone call that we can't play. He did admit that he hit you in the phone call. He said that. He said yeah, but he said it was consensual. So it's like, I mean, he said she said at this point, right? So what happened in your opinion?
Totally. I think there's several points I can hit on. Those other text messages just to address those other horrible ones that are just horrifying to be read.
Hey, who gifted some memberships? I don't get to see that in StreamYard. They don't show me. Let me come over to our live here. Let's see who that was. Oh, hey. See, it's not showing me that at all.
Somebody says Dago's memberships. Dago 5 memberships.
Dude, Dago.
Dago. I said it wrong again.
Dago gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Dago. I appreciate that so much. Meta Mom, Halo Kitty, Michelle Mack, my darling, and the Steph Show. Thank you so much. I know my screen looks really weird right now, but that's only because I had to switch tabs. Sorry about that. I just don't know why it didn't star it on my my StreamYard for me. That's really weird. Okay, where were we at? I was here. Okay. So the longer interview for that, let's see. Here it is. So she had a very, I mean, I won't even play it when she was on with these guys. It's a 17-minute interview. I do encourage you guys to watch it. She went on one of those shock jock sports shows. Are you familiar with this show at all?
Oh yeah. I'm very familiar with that show. This is a very politically right-leaning sports show. Outkick the coverage with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to play the whole interview, but I am going to come and play his. And then I'm going to show you guys what happened with her just 2 nights ago as well.
A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsey replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. In August of 2021, Lindsey Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsey Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see.
I want to answer this really quick. Music City Mom, is he saying that another pitcher told her to scam him? No, they were just texting about it. She had, other guys on her radar as well, you could say.
Did you Google this guy, Jacob Nix?
No, I haven't. Do you know anything about him?
So I just did a quick Google search.
Okay.
He's not like the kind of Major League Baseball player that you're familiar with. He's like a guy probably that bounced around farm teams and stuff. But anyways, a quick Google search reveals that he was arrested for breaking into somebody's house. He's probably, one could speculate that he's got drug problems and sort of a desperate character that would involve himself in a situation like this.
Would you be able to put that link in the back chat for me?
Sure. When she says, I'll give you 50K, it kind of fits, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. She planned this out with friends, and this was one of her friends. Yeah. So I'm going to get that link and put it in chat for you guys if you want to look. You caught that quick. I didn't even think of Googling anybody that she was talking to. I'm just waiting for that link, you guys. Give me just a moment. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I'll play this while he's getting that link.
He's here lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th and why the video was originally concealed from us. After hearing the evidence available to her, Judge Diana Gold-Saltman found that Lindsey Hill had misled the court. She found her claims to be materially misleading. She denied her request for a domestic violence restraining order, and she found that no sexual assault or non-consensual conduct took place. Now, some of you might not know about restraining order hearings. I know I didn't, but I've since learned that it's extremely rare for a request for a restraining order to be denied because the standard of proof that you need to obtain one is extremely low. So you can make of that what you will. The fact is, I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. And most importantly, as I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsey Hill, or anyone else for that matter. So I sued her, which prompted her to countersue me. Quite frankly, regardless of the outcome in court, I've paid significantly more in legal fees than Lindsey Hill could ever pay me in her entire life. And I knew that would be the case going in. But the lawsuit was never about the money for me. It was the only way for me to obtain critical information to clear my name. The discovery process in that lawsuit recently concluded, at which point Lindsey Hill's legal team again came to us with another proposal to resolve the case. This time, however, they weren't seeking any money from me. Having received much of the information that had been hidden from us, a small portion of which I've referenced here, I was willing to agree to the terms proposed. Both parties would drop their respective lawsuits, and neither of us would pay either side any money. I also retained my right to speak publicly about the case, something I have not been at liberty to do since June of 2021. So, as of today, both lawsuits have been settled. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity and my reputation in a very public setting. But hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I'd prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life.
So that was his statement. Very well done, huh? Dago, he did? Dago gifted more memberships. Aw. I'm going to bring my thing over here so I can see it. Why is it not showing me though? Let me go all the way up to my stored. I'm going to take this down for just a moment. I got to pull my screen over here where I can see all the way to the top. You know, that's really weird. I'm not getting any starred anything today. Normally, if you get a super chat or super sticker or gifted memberships or somebody becomes a member, it'll show at the top. There's nothing up there at all. That is so strange. All right, I'm going to go and put myself back over here now. Weird, weird, weird. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dago. I don't see it, but thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so now let's take a look at what happened with her just a couple of days ago. Let me look at the date on it. This video. This was a screenshot that I got of it. Her face. This is her getting kicked out of a concert. And I'm going to have to go over here.
She certainly fits the mold of aspiring Instagram model, want to be famous, will step over anybody she can to get there.
Yeah, for real.
For money.
Well, she got pretty sloshed and got kicked out of a concert night before last. And somebody recorded her.
Me too.
No,
Actually, fuck you.
You need to go. You need to go. You need to go.
Actually, I'm sorry. It was a.
Hey, don't do that. Metro's coming.
Well, I want to make sure that nothing happens.
You can go. No, you can go. You can go. No, actually, yes, ma'am. Yes, no, I don't.
She's drunk already.
No, ma'am. You can work it up. No, ma'am.
This guy's like,
Hey, Really, that's go. You need to go. You need to go. You need to go. You need to go.
I gotta say, I love that face. I really love that facial expression. I mean, you know somebody's mad when they make that facial expression right there. They just, their nostrils are flared and furious. And I'm not making fun of her. I just think that this face is epic. She was mad. I don't know what happened, but she got kicked out of that concert 19 hours ago.
So
Not
I was watching a
having
mainstream
a good
media
time.
report this morning, and they mentioned that she wasn't the only accuser, that there was a handful of other accusers that came
Yeah.
forward, and they didn't specify any details. So that would lead me to believe that they didn't have any, there was no court proceedings. They didn't have enough evidence to move forward with, but it just goes to show you this whole, I mean, if you're a famous person and you go on, the news comes out with a story, oh, this guy was accused of this, it then becomes very easy. Anybody you've had any contact with in recent weeks or months or years has the opportunity
Jump
to come
on that
forward.
train. Yep.
And then you get your face out there, you get your name out there, you get a chance. It's like a lottery ticket. It's a free roll. Why not, right? You've been out on a date with this guy. Now all of a sudden somebody's accused him, and it's like, oh, geez, what happened? Well, yeah, we could frame that like that, and and I got to think that happens.
Yeah. How is your back? Are you still doing okay? Do you need to rest, or how are you doing?
I've just ordered another coffee with a shot of whiskey in it, and I figured I'd drink the cup of coffee, and when that's done, I'll jump down.
I am definitely going to go make some more coffee after this. Wow. Good morning, Bree McGee. How are you doing? You didn't spend all that money in one place, did you? I'm going to read this that I have up on the Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine, Dago. I was trying to find out what happened because normally my stuff shows up at the top, Well, malicious, usually they'll show up at the very top in StreamYard under starred. There's a little tab right at the very top. That's where they usually show up for me, but yeah, YouTube has been weird lately. I don't know what's going on. Hi, Brandywine and True Crime. How are you doing? Good morning. She says, hey, y'all, this witch is a real POS. She's not even that cute. And what she has pulled or tried to is disgusting and infuriating to real survivors, and all for what? Money. Exactly. And you guys, the media did not help. Okay, this is a journalist, Molly Knight. She is getting run over the coals for what she did. This is from a complaint, part of the action that he brought. Number 3, within days of the complainant filing a petition for a restraining order against Mr. Bauer, which of course was dismissed, the online sports news website, The Athletic, and its former employee, Molly Knight, defamed Mr. Bauer by creating and spreading the false narrative that Mr. Bauer fractured the complainant's skull. There was no basis for that assertion because the complainant's own medical records, which The Athletic possessed at the time, showed that she had no such fracture. Nonetheless, consistent with their prior and subsequent expressions of animus toward Mr. Bauer, The Athletic and Miss Knight publicized that false attack, which was then picked up and further disseminated to larger audience by other media outlets and social media sites. You know that saying, a lie can get around the world before the truth can get its pants on. That's what's happened with this case. Yeah, this gets spread around quicker than he could do anything about it, you know? It's just so sad.
You know, there's a similar case from almost 10 years ago, a Canadian broadcaster who was basically in line to be the next famous CBC broadcaster. Guy's name was Jean Gomeshi, and multiple accusers came forward claiming that he, very similar accusations to Bauer, rough sexual stuff, and he claimed it was consensual. And he ended up getting found not guilty on all charges, but he's never worked again in the public. His career is over. He was shamed. The media was all over him. And it was proved that the three accusers were conspiring together to manipulate evidence and fabricate stories and get their story straight. Their text messages were released as well. And you could see that they were texting each other, trying to get their ducks in a row and kind of weave a narrative to extort money out of this guy. And it cost him his career.
Damn.
I sent you a link in the back chat for that story as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I'll get that in just a second. I've got this up here. I used to watch Louder with Crowder all the time. Not a bad show. I used to really like it. Way back in the day, I used to watch it all the time. Good morning, Sergeant. Sergeant Friday is in the house. Bree says, LOL, for being honest, Debbie, I did. I spent all of my daughter in some fall winter clothes. Oh, that is so awesome. I got to see a photo or something if you can. I would never share it or anything like that. But you have my email. I want to see what you did. That is so amazing. Every time I get money, I spend it on my little girl too. It all goes right to her. That is awesome. She won the prize in my giveaway live stream. So that was cool. So I don't know about his language. Sometimes he cusses, sometimes he doesn't. Is this a video? I can't really tell. Oh, here we go. Let's see what he had to say about it. Are you familiar with Crowder?
Yep.
I think it's Steven Crowder. Yeah. Let's see what he had to say, because I know he does not mince his words at all.
No, he doesn't pull any punches.
No, he does not.
So you're not just going after Trevor Bauer, you were going after the Dodgers as well, the organization.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to shake them down for some money. Maybe a payout there.
Right. Hey, no one can absolutely consent to this logically or legally. First off, no. Mostly because that didn't happen. Trevor Bauer was, I guess, a former Dodgers pitcher. Now,
one of the best.
He was?
He was one of the best. He signed a giant free agent deal. He had won the Cy Young Award.
Okay.
Wow. And was a phenomenal best pitcher out there on the market at the time.
I didn't know anything about him other than the sexual assault allegations.
Right.
Now, let me clarify this before we go to the clip. And it's a little bit longer because I want to provide some context here, because this is one of the worst problems that we're facing right now in society, because this kind of smear campaign, character assassination is the reason that young men will not talk to young women, and it's the reason that young women say there are no men worth talking to or marrying out there. There is a breakdown, not just of marriage, but of relationships in younger generations, and it's based on fear. And that stems from a lot of the false Me Too. It didn't get worse because rape went up. Rape has gone down, just to be clear. Sexual assault has gone down. False accusations have gone up, and so men are saying it's not worth the risk. And then women are saying, where am I going to find a man with, a 7-figure income who's 6'2", and is willing to, give me everything that I want? Well, he doesn't want to be falsely accused of rape. So this man Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, not Aaron Rodgers. Gosh, Trevor Bauer. I was going with the only sports name I know. Aaron Rodgers. I know Kurt Schilling. I know.
That's a little old.
I know
but yeah.
Ray Rice.
Also old.
Sanders Berry.
Yeah, well, people retired.
Yeah. All right.
Kurt Schilling.
Trevor Bauer.
Okay, so this is 20 minutes long. I'm not going to play all of it. I will just only get down here. I know he doesn't care if you share stuff anyway, but so I've shared his stuff in the past.
It's interesting that he mentioned Aaron Rodgers because what I was saying about Bauer being a little bit odd and a lot of people didn't like him prior to this. It's similar to Rodgers. Rodgers has made some comments about politics. The other day, he referred to Travis Kelce as Mr. Pfizer on the Pat McAfee show. If Rodgers was accused, I think there'd be half the country would be against him just because they don't like him to begin with. And that's kind of, I feel, what part of what happened to Trevor Bauer.
Wow. Okay, so here is that article that Jesse found on the pitcher, Jacob Nix, that this girl was texting with about getting all this money and saying she would give this guy 50 grand. So in 2019, he was arrested for criminal trespassing after trying to get into an Arizona house through a doggy door, prompting a resident of the home to kick him and use a stun gun on him. Oh my God. Holy crap. He was kicked in the face by someone inside the home. Wow, he got... Oh, my Lord. So he was with another baseball player, Tom Cosgrove, and they were both arrested. He tried to tell the police he thought he was at his own home, even though he doesn't have a doggy door and usually enters through the front door. Yeah, he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Good grief. Dude, that's embarrassing. Okay, let me see this next one that you sent. Is this it? Gomeshi's accusers exchanged 5,000 messages before and after going to police. Oh my. Oh, let me, where was that at? I lost it.
Like I say, it was quite a similar case because there was talk of, hitting and sort of consensual, like rough stuff in the bedroom, and there was similar text messages exchanged. What we saw with this accuser of Bauer. But again, nothing happened to him, right?
Yeah, nothing happened to him.
So it's a free roll. You can throw it against the wall, see if it sticks. If it sticks, you get all their money. If it doesn't, you just walk away.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. I put that one in the chat as well for anybody else who's, researching this, because this is just hit, This has just hit the media. And I think it's an important story to tell, especially during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, And again, if you or anybody that has a secret phone based on a safety plan, I went through this as well. And I also did have at the time an old cell phone that I could use in case of emergency because my abuser would take my phone away for days at a time. It's ridiculous. So somebody gave me an extra phone. If you or somebody has that, or you don't want to hear this mess in a couple hours, then make sure those phones are off. You don't want the abusers to hear that. Or, if you're working at home, for example, my husband turned off his cell phone so that he wouldn't be interrupted because he's, on calls and stuff in his office. So, yeah, it's going to be really loud and really annoying when it happens, but again, this is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Very important. Very, very, very important. Real victims don't get heard enough. Real victims stay silent far too often. And it's wrong. They should be able to speak up and get justice. Absolutely. But people like this chick and Amber Heard with her face makeup as well. And that's what we had. He had the pictures up here, those fake pictures that she put out. Where did he have those? Saw them on here. Right there. Those were fake. That was all fake. She had no injuries. That is such a slap in the face to every real victim.
And it's not that there isn't laws on the books that are, you bring evidence like that into a courtroom, that there's serious consequences for that. It's just a conscious decision not to enforce these laws that are already on the books. And I think people need to demand that action is taken, because it shouldn't be a free roll to throw it up at the wall and see if it sticks.
What's his theory, Bree? What's his reason as to why we should keep our phones off for the alert? Do you think maybe they're tracking who has phones or something? I don't care.
They've already got your everything. You're way late, Bree. It's all over.
Yes, absolutely. Brandywine says her ex was a real piece of work. Shut the door. Shut the door. Oh, God. Hang on just a second. I gotta go shut the door before my dogs start barking again. Hang on.
Well, I've finished my whiskey spiked coffee, Deb, and my back's killing me, so I'll jump down. But if you got any more sports related content, don't hesitate to hit me up on Twitter like you did today. And I want to thank you for the invite. I guess she didn't hear that, but
no, I took my headset off for just a moment so I could go shut my office door. What'd you say?
I was just thanking you for the invite and saying if you got any more sports related stuff, don't hesitate to reach out to me like you did today. But I've had my last coffee and I need to rest the back now. So I'll be
absolutely. Absolutely. I understand. I hope you get to feeling better. I know back pain. It's crazy.
Thanks for having me. And it's good to see everybody in the chat as well. And I hope to see Diego pretty soon as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up. You the man. I knew that you would know, a lot about this guy just, from his career and might have an opinion as well. So thank you so much for coming up.
Thank you. Good night.
All right. Good night. All right, you guys. Yeah. Again, she pulled an Amber Heard and it also did not work. Absolutely. I totally agree. You deserve all the love in the world, Brandywine. And yes, again, so sorry you went through that. Absolutely. Oh, you're fine. I watch whenever I go in late on a live, I often will just go ahead and go back to the beginning. Oh, electromagnetic pulse. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Let's see. Yeah, like if you go to Twitter now and just do a search, it's just like blowing up with all of this going on. There's mine. Awful, awful, awful. Let's see. So I've got a whole bunch more. I have one article that is, like all about her, what we know about her, but I decided against playing that one, putting that one up because I don't really want to be accused of even going after her in any way, shape, or form. So, okay. So this is the lawyer.
This woman, Lindsey Hill, should go to jail.
Hold up, dude. So he's known as the lawyer of TikTok, and he's got some really great videos. I'm going to play his really quick. It's only a little over a minute. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in her opinion, right?
This woman, Lindsey Hill, should go to jail. And let me know what you think in the comments after you listen to this. Trevor Bauer was a pitcher for the Dodgers and was actually first team All MLB, a great pitcher. But one night caused him to suffer the rest of his Major League Baseball career due to her. Lindsey Hill, the woman above me, made false allegations against Trevor Bauer, the pitcher from the Dodgers, saying that he SA'd her back on May 15th of 2021. Ultimately, this restraining order that Lindsey Hill filed against him was ultimately dismissed. But it gets even worse. The MLB suspended Trevor Bauer for 194 games based on Lindsey Hill's accusations. Lindsey Hill took a video on her phone just minutes before she left Trevor Bauer's home, where she was ultimately smiling in the camera. But this was also at the same time that she was texting a friend saying about how he was worth $51 million and about what she should steal from his place. Now, not only was this restraining order against Trevor Bauer ultimately dismissed without him having to put on any evidence, all criminal charges against him weren't even brought forward at all. So they ultimately filed civil suits against each other, which ultimately settled for $0 and still allowed Trevor Bauer to talk about this publicly. Look, SA against somebody should be prosecuted to the fullest. But at the same point, if somebody makes up false allegations that can be highly proven, they need to suffer the consequences for their actions, because this man's life has now been ruined, and now he's forced to play baseball overseas.
Exactly. His life has been ruined regardless, and now he is forced to play baseball over in Japan. Although he appears to be happy and doing well there. You know, that's great for him. He's super popular over in Japan. But this shouldn't have happened to him at all, you know? His whole life trajectory was altered by this crazy chick with her bullshit. And it's just so sad. It's really, really, really so sad. Let me see if I have any more. What was this one? It says receipt. Okay, hold on. Let me see what this one was. Make sure I've still got you up here. Yeah. I tend to mute myself a lot, so I'm going to make sure I wasn't still muted. I think this is just more of, if you guys want to watch this, this has got more of the receipts in it, I believe.
Victim,
Yeah.
star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So
Now, granted, these are different friends, okay?
Wednesday,
Not
said.
just one
I already
friend,
have my hopes
several.
in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to
Hello,
choke me
root
out, she
trackers.
said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsey replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I
So I did play this one in full at the beginning. So if you are just joining us, you can go back to the beginning if you'd like and see everything. I have put all of the links in chat as well. Let's see. Now this one, I'm only going to put it in chat for you guys if you want to go see it. This is an article that they did called All We Know About the Woman. I don't really want to go there myself, but you know, other people are doing research to do videos and lives about this this whole case. So thought I'd throw that out there as well. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow, Carol says, will be 1 year. Precious, adorable. Quentin Simon was killed by her monster mother, Leilani. Grabbed my heart and ran with it. We'll be at the trial to see you get the justice you so deserve. Yes, Carol, you're going to be there in person, aren't you? Absolutely. Justice, yeah. Yeah, her trial starts, I believe I have it written down. She has something going on December 8th at 2 p.m. in Georgia. And I'm not really sure what that is. I'll have to go look and see what that court hearing is about. Are you going to be there December 8th? Awesome. Well, let me know if you've got a way of, keep in touch. Maybe we can kind of live report it, from you if they're not going to be doing live streaming inside the courtroom. Yeah, she's been talking about going to that forever. That's amazing. Please get in touch with me. Maybe we can figure out some way to, get you on here. You know what I mean? All right, I wish I could say I understood that. December 8th, fighting trials being dropped. What do you mean? Say a little more. I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do after this is I've got a bunch more links as well. I'm going to put the rest of them and these as well down in the description, just, one after the other, so that if anybody wants to, update on what's going on, you can also go to Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter, and just type in her name or his and look at the latest, There's a lot going on. Zach Martin over here says, here's Lindsey Hill, another disgusting, evil Western woman who used the Me Too movement to ruin a baseball player's life. And did she go to jail? No, because the system is corrupt and criminals protect. Ooh, I'm not going to say all that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch on here. I mean, I feel so bad for this guy. I'm so glad he wasn't charged, but, if he had been charged, he could have been wrongfully convicted. Oh, is this her? Oh, no, it's her cousin. We're not going to go messing with her relatives. That's just dumb. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this now. Oh, some of the charges are being dropped. Wow. What the hell? Fighting charges me. Okay, gotcha. Huh. Well, as long as she gets fully charged and, convicted for killing him and disposing of him in that disgusting, vile manner, lying. I think there was like 12 charges for false police reports. There's a whole lot on her. Let me see if I can. Well, I'm not going to do it for this live because I want to keep this as short as I can, okay? So that more people can watch this topic. And then I'll do another video or live on what's going on currently and any changes and stuff. If you feel like coming up with me sometime on this, Carol, just let me know. You can come up on panel and we can talk about it, you know? That would be great. Especially since, you know, we're only a month away now from a hearing. So let me know. I really appreciate you guys being here today. If you have somebody in your family or friend that's a victim or survivor, send them a text today acknowledging this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Let them know you're here for them. You know, just be a friend to somebody who needs you right now. You never know what somebody is going through behind closed doors as well. These abusers are slick. You know what I mean? So they put on a good show and they look like they're just this awesome person to the world, and they're not. We know that, right? So, actually, my ex, I don't even want to go into any of the details, but after I finally ghosted and left and was able to get out of all that, he quickly remarried, and they have 2 small children. Her best friend reached out to me asking me how I managed to finally get away from him in a way that where I was safe and completely away, like gone. And he's doing the same thing to her now. And now these little boys. So, yeah, pray for that situation as well. It's really sad. I had to, for anybody who just wants to know, I had to change my cell phone number. I had to move. I had to sell my car, and I had to switch jobs all in the same week where I was completely hidden by a friend. I had to do all that in the same week so that there was no way to contact me, no way to find me, no way to spot my car, and he couldn't show up at my job. And I had to let everybody know in my life what I was doing and to not give out any of my information to anybody. So if you're in a situation like that and you need help, reach out. I got out. It took me several tries, but I did it. So I will stand with you. If you need help or just somebody to talk, I'm here. You guys have a lovely afternoon, okay? And again, send a text to your friends. Let them know what today is and spread the word. This whole month is about real survivors, real victims, not people like this lady. So I will see you guys later. Have a good day. Love to all. Bye, everybody.
Hey, all y'all. How y'all doing today? All y'all have a good day.